I'm not sure how all this audio is going to come out because I'm currently doing some dishes and I just kind of want to speak my mind, rethink things. Specifically, after the very initial super hype of the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, my brain just kind of just the more I think about certain things like the Nintendo Switch 2 edition paid upgrades, the more upset I get. Mostly because I'm getting very burnt by the tech greed of stuff. Specifically when it comes to... What the fuck's my sponge? Tech greed of stuff because... I know I mentioned it before. I think I need to get a new computer by October. In other words, 6 months from now, because my old computer is from 2017. It's like a 7700 i5. Not a very strong computer by today's standards. It was pretty good when I bought it. For I think it was around $700-800. I usually just say $1,000 because that was the list price and I got it on sale. But now, because Microsoft is pushing their AI bullshit, I need a new computer to have a new Windows, to get the new Windows, because what little money I do earn for myself through art commissions, which I do digitally, which I need Clip Studio Paint for. And Clip Studio Paint's not on Linux, and even if it's on Mac, I'm not buying a Mac. It's the same position I would be in with Windows 11. I would have to adopt an operating software. I really don't want to. So regardless, I just need a new computer, regardless of how I go about it. So, yeah, and I'm not paying, like, what is it, like $100-200 a year just for security updates after October. So, yeah, I'm a little burned right now for tech stuff. And I'm fine with the Nintendo Switch costing $450, especially with all the tariffs, inflation going on. Like, I would have liked it to be $400. That would have been reasonable. But $450, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. I like Nintendo. It's one of my hyperfixations with my autism. I love their games, but man, do I not like their business practices a lot. And with... I need to go and actually confirm. I only been seeing like a few thumbnails around, and I've mostly been trying to avoid it because I am not mentally doing the best personally right now. And generally, when it comes to money, that's been a huge stress in my life, and I don't want to think about games costing $90, supposedly, for the physical version of Mario Kart World. And I want to buy physical games again. I've been buying a lot of digital games because of lack of game stores near me. There's not even a GameStop near me anymore. There has been for a few years now. So, yeah, just to hear that is just... stressful, disheartening, and one of the reasons why I was still considering, like, maybe if I do well enough with commissions, or if I actually get off my butt and do more videos like this and build an audience, maybe I could, like, earn enough money to both get a new computer and a Nintendo Switch. But one of the things that's make me now go, okay, I'm not getting a Nintendo Switch this year, is because there's no point of playing my old games on it now. Because, like, if my Breath of the Wild copy, which is, like, both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I've been meaning to replay. And there's not really a point of buying a Switch 2 for that. I'll just replay it on the Switch. Because it's going to perform the same. Like, and one thing I'm really concerned about, and I definitely want to see tested for when people do get the Switch, in June. I want to see people test how Switch 1 versions of games, with Switch 2 upgrade editions, run on the Switch 2. Like, does the Switch 2 clock itself down to be the equivalent of a Switch 1, so that performance-wise it would be actually identical to the Switch 1? Like, or does it at least allow it to use its processing power a little more, so that Breath of the Wild will at least run at a solid 30 on Switch 2? Because that's like my next big question. Like, is it going to artificially limit itself to highly encourage the extra money being used to buy the Switch 2 edition? Or is it going to at least allow you to, it might not uncap it to 60, like how they said in the direct, but do we at least get a solid 30? And like, even though it would be insane to suggest that it would just downclock itself so that it wouldn't be better playing on Switch 2 unless you get the upgrade. Like, that would be, like, you know, extremely greedy and really annoying. It should at the very least allow you to get to what would be the normal print cap of 30. But considering everything else with the pricing, how expensive things are, tech greed, me being burnt by everything, like, I just don't trust that. And, like, obviously I'm like part of the problem because I still want a Switch 2. I'm not boycotting the Switch 2 when I say I'm not buying it right away. It's because that it's just not financially smart to do so. And even though I really want to play Mario Kart World, I want to play the new Donkey Kong game, those games look amazing, I just won't be able to afford it. I just can't. And along with my Switch 1 games not getting any performance upgrades unless I pay out the butt for it. Like, again, I hope the $20 upgrade for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is just a misunderstanding of a number. Like, are they like $10 each, and like people are saying it's $20 together because, you know, they're practically the same game in a lot of ways? Or is it like $20 each just for a performance upgrade? I hate this because, like, games like Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, Rebirth Intergrade, if I remember correctly, is still a free upgrade if you get a PS5 and you own the PS4 version, to my understanding. And even not, like, the fact that they even offered it in the first place is just makes me angry when it comes to Nintendo. Because I also bought games like Elden Ring on PS4, and I got the PS5 version for free digitally, because, like, they just offered it. And Metroid Prime 4 is going to be either you get the Switch 1 version or you get the Switch 2 version for even more money. There's no double purchase there. Like, you have to pay the difference eventually, which is just rubs me the wrong way. Like, yes, Nintendo is a business, it has the right to earn money, but video games are very important to me. Like, there's some of the only reasons why I even stay around. And it's just getting so unbelievably expensive because it's not just prices inflating, because a lot of people will say, like, well, Super Nintendo games would be $120 nowadays if they were adjusted for inflation. But the thing that they don't talk about, the thing that they don't realize, is that the cost of living back in the 90s is much cheaper than the cost of living now. Inflation is not equal. Like, the price of the inflation of the dollar has gone up about like I think it's like 60% since the 90s or something like that, while the cost of living has gone up to like nearly like 200 to 300%. Like just look at rent prices around for that, and like yeah, it varies for depending on the item and what you're buying, food and stuff like that, but the cost of living has inflated much higher than the actual dollar. So, yes, games should cost more. I'm fine with them costing $70 personally, because I get it. But going to 80 for digital and 90 for physical, that's just getting to the point of being actual insanity. It's going way past actual inflation, and it's moving more closer to... Well, no, it is past actual inflation. Point is, the cost of living is ballooned much more, and people who were able to afford games back in the 90s, early 2000s, the start of the HD era, the second generation of HD, all of that is now being... Everyone who was able to afford things back then are now being priced out, including myself. It's like... And I'm fine with paying money for enhanced versions of stuff as long as it's not just a performance update. For example, I love the Persona series. I love those games. I bought Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal both at full price, because I love those games. I've forgone buying other games, and I worked really hard to get those games because I love them. And I fully believe Persona 5 Royal is worth the money. I see a lot of people talk about how Persona 5 Royal shouldn't have been worth $60, and they only played Persona 5 Royal. Like, they never played the Persona 5 original, they just are aware that it's just the enhanced edition of Persona 5. Not realizing how much that actually changed. It wasn't just, oh, you get an extra, like, campaign, extra story at the end. No, like, they changed nearly everything. Like, they added and remixed and enhanced and improved on so many little things all throughout the game that they didn't have to, but they did because it made it better. And Base 5 was still a really good game. Like, Base 5 was one of the most dense Persona games when it came out. And Persona 5 Royal just made it even more dense, better, every single way, rebalance entire game mechanics, things that just wouldn't necessarily work for just an update without being kind of messy. It was worth the $60, and I'm willing to pay for stuff like that, but not like... Even $5 for a performance update would be insane. That would just be nickel and diming. 10 or 20 is just way too much. It's insane. I hate it. I hate it a lot. I really want to like Nintendo. I grew up with it. I used to want to work for Nintendo when I was younger, back when I wanted to make video games. And I still want to make video games, but I'm just not smart enough for that. And now, like, it's just getting too expensive. I want to enjoy it. I want to love Nintendo, and they're just making it so hard. This. Like, I'm not even sure this audio is coming out even halfway decent. I'm not even sure it's coming from the headphones or that. It makes total sense why they didn't touch on pricing at all in the direct. Like they didn't mention anything about pricing in the direct, like even a lick of it, because they know it would have killed a lot of the hype. And also probably because of like the tariffs and stuff and all that. Like, there's that too. But considering that Nintendo is very unwilling to lower the prices of their first party games quite a bit, it takes forever for them to like add games to like their selects or whatever, or just to add deals. They even do stuff like their vouchers, but like only for limited times and not always available, which is weird. This pan just needs to soak. Cool. You know, it's just I was really looking forward to the Switch 2. And it's just like now it's like what else is going to be like limited artificially if I don't pay an extra arm and a leg for it? Like I'm fine with it costing more than the Switch 1. I'm fine with it costing $450. But 90 for physical titles, 80 for digital. At least it gave us the courtesy of making it 80 for digital, I guess. It's just, ugh. Anyway, that's all I have to say. It's just, hopefully you were able to understand everything I was saying. I kind of rambled a bit. I kind of had a hard time explaining certain things, but hopefully you get how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it. Gaming is very quickly not becoming a hobby that lower income people are going to be able to enjoy outside of very microtransaction, gotcha, free-to-play esports games. They're very predatory with how they do their microtransactions. Because unless you're a big fan of those kinds of games, and don't get me wrong, I like myself some Zenless Zone Zero, but it's just sad that those are the only games that people are going to be able to afford, ironically enough, because they technically don't have a large starting point for their pricing. And even then, it's hard to recommend that because, like, even though I like Zenless, it's still a gacha game. It's still predatory. Like, it still has battle passes and the gacha mechanics and everything. They're absurdly overpriced. And it's just, like, and more games are just becoming just at that. It's just sad. And it's just frustrating. I'm just rambling at this point. Yeah. This month's my birthday month, I guess. I wish I could just be hyped for the Switch 2. I wish I could just be unironically, yes, let's go, Switch 2, and just not have to worry about stuff. I already accepted that I wouldn't get the Switch 2 at launch because of having to get a new computer. But fuck me. Anyway, I didn't end the video.